But for the rest of yung mga needed na information, I will try again to go back to our review, and I will probably uh, do a recordings for those na na-miss based on the table of specification kung meron mang na-miss, no? And I will be uploading sa ating canvas ng mga recordings, no? So this morning we will continue histology of systems and special organs. So yung special organs usually na ni-include dito are the eyes and the ears, no? Okay. So histology part 2. So we start with the urinary system. Urinary system, one of the more difficult system in terms of physiology, no? So some students are having difficulty grasping the basic concepts, especially the physiology, urinary physiology, no? Sometimes this is next to cardiovascular physiology na susunod na mahirap, no? Kasi doon sa cardiovascular physiology and histology, medyo mahirap yung interpretation of or reading of the ECG. But in the veterinary practice, hindi pa masyadong na-emphasize doon. But ang daming mga conferences wherein tinatakal nila ang cardiology. So, it's very important for a newly graduate na veterinarian to start um, with the anatomy and physiology of uh, cardio and cardiovascular if you want to go into that specialty, no? Sa urinary system, second na mahirap in as for me during my classes, no. And my sister was diagnosed of end stage kidney disease, and she's a candidate for kidney transplant. And I had a little bit of interest with urinary histology and physiology dahil doon. And also, I was thinking of maybe we can have a specialization or interest in urinary system in veterinary medicine here in the Philippines. So maybe if I am still alive, maybe I will try na meron ng kidney transplant sa dogs, no? Pero it's kind of difficult, no? Dahil sa complexity, no? Dahil nga sinasabi ko na ang kidney is or any surgeries regarding kidney, sana magkaroon na tayo ng gano'n in the Philippines. Although sa kidney transplants is very difficult. It's not a routine surgery nga sa ibang bansa, even in the US, no? Sa surgery per se, ang hirap i gawin kasi nga dahil nga dun sa system wherein iisa lang yung blood supply nga itong kidney, no, kapag ka na severe na or na block na yung supply ng specific part of kidney, then it's very common na magkaroon or very prone to infarction. So yeah, alam natin ang kidneys or urinary system is composed of the kidneys and the ureter, and then the urinary bladder, and then goes down to the urethra. And the kidney is the one that is the main organ sa urinary system, and it's composed of a nephron. It is the functional units of the kidneys, and it filters the blood. Inside the nephron, we have the Bowman's capsule, glomerulus, and then the different tubes, like the proximal convoluted tubules, loop of Henle, and then connecting ducts or the collecting ducts, no? So within the kidneys, we have the renal parenchyma. So the renal parenchyma is composed of the outer renal cortex, ito, sa labas. And then we also have the renal medulla. The renal medulla is itong nasa loob. This is darker in shade. So the outer cortex, renal cortex is composed of renal round corpuscles and tubules in the cross sections, no? Dito naman sa inner medulla, they're aligned tubules, no? And ang buong ito, it's called renal lobes, or each pyramid, itong renal pyramid, plus all the cortical tissues na sa sides, cortical tissues, its base and its sides, no? Ito yung pinaka-basic structure ng kidney. And then we go on to the nephron. So this is the filtering unit of the kidney. It's composed of 1 to 1 to 4 million, no? 1 to 4 million nephrons. It's composed of corpuscles, long and simple epithelial renal tubules na merong mga parts, no? And then we have different types of nephron. Itong cortical nephron, yung makikita lang natin na nephron sa cortex. And then the juxtamedullary nephron, ito ay makikita sa medulla and have long loops of Henle, no? So again, kapag ka merong we'll touch a little bit of physiology, no? Kapag ka merong na-filter na blood, okay? So actually the formation of the urine is it starts with the sa blood. Yun yung filter niya. And then after filtration, it's a kidney, it goes it's either secreted, excreted, or reabsorbed, no? So we'll learn about that sa renal physiology. So if this is not emphasized sa renal physiology review, I will have a dedicated supplementary lecture with regards dito sa renal physiology, no? I know dito sa veterinary medicine when I was studying, hindi siya na-emphasize itong mga functions different na ano ba yung mga nangyayari dito sa urinary system, no? Okay, we go back kapag ka nagkaroon ng filtration of blood, no? Pagka meron ng na-collect na urine, no? Sa collecting duct, no? From the collecting duct, it goes to sa renal capsule, and then it goes to the minor renal calyx, and then from the minor renal calyx, it goes to the major calyx, and then it goes to the renal pelvis. From the renal pelvis, dadaan yung urine, it goes into the ureter, and then it goes into the urinary bladder for temporary storage. Yun yung pinaka basic na na route ng urine. But dito we will go on to the nephron. Titingnan natin kung ano ba yung mga specific part of the nephron, and then ano yung mga nangyayari doon, no? So again, the renal functional unit of the kidney is the nephron, no? So the process na involved are filtration, reabsorption, secretion, and excretion. We'll have the differences of this doon sa renal physiology. Okay, so we go on to the nephron sa part of the nephrons, no? So one part of the nephron is the renal corpuscles, no? Dito yung pinaka basically na pinaka filtration part ng kidney doon sa renal corpuscles, no? Itong renal corpuscles have two parts. Itong tubular pole dito, and then dito naman yung vascular pole, no? Dito sa vascular pole, kung saan yung mga blood nanggagaling sa different parts of the body, very very small na ito, no, pinakamaliit na. So pupunta tayo doon sa renal corpuscles. 'Di ba, from the blood, from the different parts of the body, it goes into the renal artery. From the renal artery, so different arteries na madadaanan: segmental artery, lobar artery, interlobar artery, or arcuate artery, hanggang makapunta dito sa arterioles, no? And then sa arterioles, papasok siya dito sa afferent arterioles. And then kapag ka na-filter, lalabas siya sa efferent arterioles, no? So sa efferent arterioles, it goes here dito sa corpuscles, no? And ito nga, vascular pole, may mga blood supply, or kung saan yung blood ay nanggagaling, no? And then dito sa part na to, tubular pole. Kapag na-filter na yung blood dito sa part na ito, sa glomerulus specifically, yung mga uh, urine, it will pass through to the tubular pole na mag-start na dito sa convoluting tubule na lalabas. Proximal convoluted tubule. Okay. From the arteriole, it goes to the glomerulus, and then it goes into the proximal tubule, and then pababa na. From the proximal tubule, it goes to the loop of Henle, and then it goes to the distal convoluted tubule, and then to the collecting duct, no? I just want to emphasize kung ano ba yung nangyayari dito sa renal corpuscles na nandito, no? So, ang pinaka-importante na nangyayari dito yung filtration nga, yung tinatawag natin, no? And itong glomerular filtration, ang pinaka-importante na nandito are tatlo. Yung capillary endothelium, the basement membrane, glomerular basement membrane, and then filtration slit diaphragms, no? So, ito mga to ang pinaka-importante, that sila yung pinaka parts na nag-filter ng ating blood. If those, let's say for example, the membrane, kapag na nasira ito, then it leads to kidney problem. So yun usually yung mga nasisira. And then on this, maraming mga cells na histological features na nandito. So one, we can have podocytes here. They are unusual satellite epithelial cells, no? So, and then we also have primary processes. We also have pedicels. Ang pedicels, they are secondary processes. And then we also have filtration slit pores na nandito, no? Ito yung mga importante doon sa renal corpuscles, no? So, bakit yung tatlo na sinabi ko, yung capillary endothelium, glomerular basement membrane or basal lamina, and then filtration slit diaphragms, bakit sila importante? Dito, it allows specific substances, no? Particles na filtrate, na filter. Meron yung mga depending on the charge, then depending on the type, or depending on the size of the particles, dito nasasala yung mga particles na ito. So, if you are interested, and I will check also doon uh, uh, sa syllabus or sa table of specifications kung up to that part ba is need nyo yung malaman in terms of the board exam, no? Kung ganun yung ka-in-depth yung tinat yung gusto ng board exam, then I will further go doon sa part na yun kasi gusto kong na dinidiscuss yung mga yan, no? And then we also have mesangial cells sa kidney, no? So they resemble parasites and have contractile properties, no? So yun yung pinaka quick overview doon sa renal corpuscles. And then after renal corpuscles, sabi ko, pagka na filter na yung blood or na nilinis na yung blood, na so meron na tayong urine. So from here, 'di ba, manggagaling siya sa vascular pole, ma-filter siya ng corpuscles. Kapag ka meron ng urine, papasok na dito siya sa tubular pole and then goes into the proximal convoluted tubule na. So ito pala, this is the Bowman's capsule, the space na nandito. No? Bowman's capsule itong space niya. Okay. So, ayan. So this is the Bowman's capsule. This is and then this is the tubular pole. Sorry. Ito yung tubular pole dito. And then this is the vascular pole. So when the urine is produced, no, it goes into the tubular pole entering the proximal tubule. So remember, ito yung pinaka importante na malaman ninyo per mga tubules, no? So remember, sa proximal tubule, all glucose, amino acids, and most minerals are reabsorbed, no? Reabsorbed. Na-filter siya and kapag ka na imagine ang ating kidneys are very efficient, no? Kapag ka merong glucose na hindi o nakalusot from the renal corpuscles and then merong mga amino acids na nakalusot sa ating renal corpuscles, usually kapag ka merong excess, nare-reabsorb siya lahat dito sa proximal tubule. Merong mga cases wherein nagkakaroon tayo nagkakaroon yung hayop ng impaired proximal tubule, no? Kapag ka na-impair yung proximal tubule or pag may problema dito sa parts na to, then another disease can result to, let's say for example sa diabetes mellitus, no? And other diseases, no, we'll see this hopefully in the medicine. So again, all glucose amino acids are being absorbed in the proximal convoluted tubule, and also water na reabsorb here. Okay, and then as a loop of Henle, water na absorb. And then sa distal convoluted tubule, some minerals are being absorbed, no? So also it's important sa physiology kung anong type of let's say active transport or osmosis yung way kung saan siya nare-reabsorb, no? And then dito sa collecting duct, we have also water, and makikita natin na meron pang mga specific part dito later sa next slide, yung specific na ano ba yung mga na re-reabsorb on these areas, no? Okay, so kahit yun lang yung uh, ano ninyo, pinaka memorize ninyo. Okay. So again, the nephron has different divisions. We have the renal corpuscles, the proximal tubule, the loop of Henle, distal tubule, and then connecting duct. No? Dito na makikita natin na is very specific. Meron tayong mga ions na na-reabsorb and na secrete, no? Specifically here sa proximal tubule, hydrogen, organic acids, and organic bases, they are being reabsorbed, no? Hindi na reabsorb ang sodium chloride, bicarbonate, no? And some sorry, baliktad, no? Hydrogen ay hindi niya absorb itong glucose, amino acids, they are all reabsorbed in here, no? And then itong thin as a descending limb, no? So yung water na re-reabsorb yung sodium chloride urea, ito yung hindi na re-reabsorb. And then next yung thin ascending limb of Henle na hindi na re-absorb yung chloride and sodium. And then the rest, no? Okay. Baliktad, sorry. Na nare-reabsorb ito, tama. So yung water, itong nare-reabsorb or na-spare yung water sa thin descending limb, yung sodium and chloride and urea, nasisikrit, hindi niya nare-reabsorb. Ito sa ascending limb, nare-reabsorb niya itong chloride and sodium. And then we have the thick ascending limb. Ito yung mga panlito na questions doon sa board exam, no? As far as med school, no? Kaya ang hirap, nakakalito kung ano yung mga nare-reabsorb or na secrete na. And then dito sa collecting duct, itong mga hydrogen and potassium, sila yung nasisikret, no? Sila yung naiiwan, so goes to the urine kapag ka meron. And then still sodium, ito ay nare-reabsorb, no? If you observe um, yung sodium, kung meron lang siyang isang part kung saan ito ay nasisikret, which is the thin descending limb of Henle, no? And all other parts, we can see from the proximal convoluted tubule hanggang doon sa collecting duct, ang sodium ay nare-reabsorb, no? This is because of this specialized function of the kidney, na ito yung one of the major one of the organ na maintains yung blood pressure ng animal, no? So makikita natin, I don't know kung nalagay ko dito, pero kung wala, nandoon sa, sorry, wala pala. Sa physiology. Pero i-discuss ko muna, no? Dito kasi sa vascular pole, dito sa part na to, no? Uh, Meron ng mga meron tong mga special na na cells. Ang pinaka-importante are the juxtaglomerular cells, JJ cells, na nandito. And also, meron tayong tinatawag na macula densa. Ito yung mga special din na cells that parang nasisense nila na okay, yung macula densa, nasisense niya na mababa yung blood pressure, no? Paano nila nasisense na mababa yung blood pressure, no? Nasisense nila na mababa ang concentration ng sodium. Kapag nasisense nila na mababa yung concentration ng sodium, kapag ka mababa yung concentration ng sodium, that means na baka mababa yung blood pressure ng hayop. Kapag ka nangyayari yon, it will produce a signal and the juxtaglomerular cells will produce renin. Itong renin na that is being produced, ito na yung i-initiate ng further cascade reaction na ito na yung tinatawag natin na renin-angiotensin aldosterone system. Kapag ka itong renin na produce, i i-signal niya yung uh, aldos angiotensin cells, uh, angiotensin 1, and then yung angiotensin 1 will signal or produce the angiotensin 2 sa lungs, and then it will produce another, the it will signals to different organs, and then yung aldosterone will be produced, and then yung blood pressure na later on will be change, no, depending, no, kapag ka mababa yung blood pressure, it will cause the increase of blood pressure. Yung mechanism na nun, examples, magiging i-constrict na yung blood vessels, uh, mag-ano siya ng ibang signals wherein pwedeng mag-ano ng yung patient, or it signals to other receptors that will say na mag-ano tayo, parang taas natin ang blood pressure ng katawan na to, parang gano'n, no? So, hopefully, ma-discuss natin dun sa physiology. So, yun yung pinaka-overview. So, yun yung mga importante na malaman nyo doon. Ano yung function ng macula densa, ano yung function ng juxtaglomerular cells, and then yung three membranes na nandito, yung glomerular basement membrane, the endothelial system, and then yung mga podocytes na nandoon. So, yun, yung urinary system, yung pinaka general na dapat ninyong malaman sa part na ito, no? Hopefully, meron din mga kasama ko dito na very interested sa nephrology, no? When I enrolled dati sa school, no, I said na baka magiging nephrologist ako in the future. Pero sabi ko nga, I deferred for the second year. Pero I still have that dream na I want to help my sister. And also, I will probably be the one na sa veterinary medicine sa Pilipinas na first na let's say for example, kidney transplant sa dog. Alam nyo ba sa kidney transplant sa tao, they don't usually remove the kidney. Huh? So kapag ka na-transplant yung tao, at magiging tatlo yung kidney niya, i-ano lang nila doon sa, parang i-attach lang nila doon sa, so parang dalawang kidney na doon sa right, or dalawang kidney na sa left. Tinatanggal nila yung kidney unless tinatanggal nila kapag ah let's say for example parang merong tumor, or parang meron ng mga lumps doon sa kidney, or kapag highly infected yung papalitan, or yung sirang kidney, yun, that's the time na tatanggalin nila. But most of the time hindi nila tinatanggal yung kidney sa tao. Kasi nga, sometimes hindi naman infected. Talagang sira lang yung mga parts, no? Ano may mga nasira na parts? Say for example, yung basement membrane, yung glomerulus, yung glomerular filtration rate niya hindi na maganda, yung mga ganun. Pero nandun pa rin, okay pa rin yung kidney na parang structurally normal pa siya. Uh, Hindi siya nagkakos ng problem, pero yung mga absorption, yung mga functions nito, and also the production of erythropoietin, uh, na or na impaired na kapag ganun, no? So also remember kung saan napoproduce yung erythropoietin, no? Napoproduce ito sa kidney, sa nephron. So merong specific we'll discuss that in physiology, no? Sa erythropoietin, kasi magandang another part ng isang discussion, no? Siguro I will dedicate one special or supplementary recorded video regarding the erythropoietin, no? So kaya pinsan yung mga kidney cases sa mga dogs, mababa yung red blood cells nila, and then mababa yung hemoglobin. Dahil nga kapag sira yung kidney, walang erythropoietin. Erythropoietin is the hormone that will cause the immature cells, red blood cells to mature, no? So kapag nagpo-produce yung bone marrow ng ng blood, uh, ang hormone to para mature itong mga red blood cells ay yung erythropoietin. Kung wala yung erythropoietin, wala kang red blood cell, wala kang mature red blood cells, no? And then kapag ka ganun, kapag ka acute kidney problem ang ginagawa ay nag-inject ng EPO, hindi lang sa tao, no? And also remember yung mga nagda-dialysis na humans, they usually have injection ng EPO every now and then. Okay. So, hopefully maganda or na-excite kayo, nagkakaroon kayo ng interest dito sa urinary system. I honestly I buried itong urinary system after veterinary board exam nung last time. Sabi ko, hindi na ako magbabasa about mga ganito kasi ang hirap. One sinabi ko na hindi na ako magbabasa ng anatomy. Pagkatapos ko after 2 years no from the board exam, yun naman pala yung aking babasahin no. When I was in Thailand na wala akong experience sa any clinics, maliban na lang doon sa mga OJT no. Pagkadating ko doon, sabi nung ng subordinate na yung aking senior, magbasa ka no. Ayun. Ayun, kaya nagbasa ako no. Okay, and then meron din mga cells, yung Laces cells na nandito doon sa vascular pole, no? So they are supportive cells. So makikita natin ito doon lahat sa physiology kung ano yung mga specific functions ng mga cells na nandito. Okay? Okay. Next, we proceed with the other parts of the urinary system na the ureters and urinary bladder, no? The ureter it is lined with transitional epithelium. Also, the bladder is lined with the transitional epithelium na tinatawag, no? Bakit? Kasi it allows the expansion itong part na ito when they are fully filled, no? So, and remember na merong part nung merong layer yung ureter and the uh, urinary bladder. Yung pinakalabas, the outermost would be the adventitia, no, with fat cells. And then we have the muscular layer, and then the lamina propria, and then the lining epithelium. Adventitia, muscularis, and then lamina propria, no? Na parang doon sa mga as compared to sa tubules like the small intestine, ganun din, no? Pero itong mga iba yung pangalan. So, meron siyang adventitia. And then also, one of the thing that is more important histologically is the presence of umbrella cells. Na malalaman natin further kung ano yung function ng umbrella cells later on. No? Yung umbrella cells ay nandito sa urinary bladder. So these are where the most contact ng urine nangyayari, no? So ano yung special cells dito sa uh, urinary bladder? Yung uh, umbrella cells. The same kapag ka sa respiratory system or sa lungs, ano may mga special doon. So you have to remember that yung goblet cells, cilia, ang nandoon yung mga special modifications kung ano ba yung nandoon. So it's good na malaman nyo kung ano yung mga or ma-memorize yung kung ano yung mga ito, no? So far, do you have any questions with regards to this, no? Okay? So that's the urinary system, no? So now let's proceed with the reproductive system, no? Sa reproductive system naman, alam natin na yung seminal fluid or the semen, nag-start yung production doon sa seminiferous tubules, no? So sa mga seminiferous tubules, nandito na yung mga mga sperm na hindi pa mature, no? From the seminiferous tubules, it goes to the retitestes, no? And then from the retitestes, it goes into the epididymis for maturation and temporary storage before ejaculation, no? So, ito lang ang pinaka-common na uh, dinidiscuss dito sa reproductive system, no? Itong alam natin yung epididymis, site for maturation, is the head, is the body and the tail. And then after the epididymis, the ductus deferens, and then goes out to the body, no? Ito yung sinasabi ko before, no? Before we have sa the hayop, sa fetus, no? Sa embryo, so sa development, we have a different stage. We still don't know whether it's male or female. Kapag ka male siya, so meron tayong mesonephros, meron siyang mesonephric duct and paramesonephric duct, no? And then the gonad. And kapag ka nagde-develop into male or female, itong mesonephric duct and mesonephric duct, paramesonephric duct, they will be developing into different organs. Say for example, itong mesonephric duct, it will develop into uterine horn, no? And then magiging female siya. Kapag nag-develop siya into ductus deferens, it will be male. And then meron siyang mga specific name, no? Ito yung tinatawag na Mullerian duct and Wolffian duct, no? Kapag ka Mullerian duct, ito yung indifferential stage. Kapag ka itong Mullerian duct ay nag-persist, magiging oviduct siya, no? Or fallopian tube or the oviduct, it will become a female. Kapag ka yung Mullerian duct naman ay nag-regress or nag-degenerate and yung Wolffian duct ang nag-persist, it will become the vas deferens, no? Kapag ka naging vas deferens, it will be male. Okay? Although sa same animal, meron siyang ito nga Mullerian duct and Wolffian duct. Kapag ganun, it's either one of the two will persist and one of the two will degenerate, no? Mullerian duct, if mag-degenerate, it's male. Kapag nag-persist, magiging oviduct, magiging female. Yung Wolffian duct, magiging vas deferens, it will be male. And then kapag nag-degenerate, it will be female. Okay? Ayan lang yung pinaka importante na malaman ninyo. So, if there's a Wolffian duct, no? If there's a Wolffian duct, it's a male. If there's a Mullerian duct, that's a female.
Or wala anti-Mullerian. Para sa...
Yes, Doc. Yes. Okay. So, we will discuss yung Dr. Colin, yung sa hormones, no? Kung paano nangyayari yun, no? Sa physiology, no? Okay. So, yun yung sa testis, no? Ito pala yung sinabi ko yung nauna. Ito yung testis. And then we have the ovaries, no? So it contains follicle na different stages of a development. It's lined with the granulosa cells and surrounded by theca cells, no? And makikita natin itong different types of follicle. We have primordial follicle, growing follicle, and primary follicle. We can see difference, no? Yung primary follicle, it's lined with the squamous, no? Flat cells, simple squamous. And then yung growing follicle, it's lined with cuboidal, simple cuboidal epithelium. And then kapag primary follicle, it's stratified na cuboidal itong kanyang lining, no? Okay. And then ito yung mga stages, no, of follicle development. We have primary follicle, primordial follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary, athletic, pre-ovulatory, and then pagka na-ovulate na, ano mangyayari doon sa follicle, magiging corpus luteum, corpus albicans. So magpe-persist ito for para doon sa pregnancy, no? Kapag hindi, it will regress, no? It will become corpus albicans. Okay. So again, these are the example are the differences of different follicles, no? Okay. And then I think one of the most reviewed na yung sa avian, no. You have to know ano yung mga nadadagdag in each stages, no, or in each part. Sample sa infant sa ovary, ano yung sa ovary, ano yung content niya doon, ano nila doon sa meron siya previtelline membrane, no. Doon sa oviduct, may nadagdagan ng albumin. And then sa magnum, ano yung mga, or sa part ng oviduct, magnum isthmus, infundibulum, ano yung mga nadagdag doon, no? And then doon sa shell gland, sa uterus, shell membrane ang nadagdag. And then the rest, no? Okay. So, hopefully, ma-discuss further ito sa physiology or sa zootechnics or sa avian production. Okay? Next, we proceed with the anterior pituitary gland, part of the endocrine system, no? So, anterior lobe contains acidophils, basophils, and chromophobes, while the posterior lobes, posterior lobe contains pituicytes and axon terminals of hypothalamic neurons, no? We know that the pituitary gland produce a lot of hormones, no? And specifically the anterior pituitary gland. Ang posterior pituitary gland, wala siyang na produce, no. Meron lang siyang ini-store. So ang actually ang parang na-store galing doon sa pituitary gland na-store is actually galing doon sa hypothalamus, no. So what is that hormone? So we'll go further, no. Ano yung hormone na yun? Dalawang hormone na yun, no. So yun lang yung malaman nyo in terms of sa ano sa part. So alam natin na ang endocrine system ay composed of different hormones na nagsisignal. Sometimes it's signaling different organs to again produce another hormone, etc. and etc. No? So ang sa posterior, sinasabi ko, ni-store lang niya yung antidiuretic hormone and oxytocin na nanggaling sa hypothalamus, no? While yung adenohypophysis or anterior pituitary gland, siya yung nag-i-store naggumagawa ng different hormones. Kasi nasisignal siya ng hypothalamus. So, siguro ma tamad si neurohypophysis, no, yung posterior, sabi ni hypothalamus, oh, itong hormone i-store mo na tapos ikaw na yung mag-release, no. So si hypothalamus ina-spoon feed niya si posterior pituitary gland, binibigyan lang siya ng hormone. While yung anterior pituitary gland, yung adenohypophysis, hindi niya yung spoon feed, no? Ini-stimulate niya, no? Kayong bahalang gumawa ng hormone, no? Ito yung ano, signal gayong gumawa mismo, no? Doon sa ano, posterior pituitary gland, ang tamad mo, oh, itong hormone, ADH, antidiuretic hormone, and oxytocin, no? Kunin mo na lang, tapos kapag ka merong problema, i-release mo na. Ito naman, bahala kayo mag-produce, no? Ito lang yung ibibigay ko. sabi niya doon sa adenohypophysis, no? Ang mga hormones na galing or ginagawa ng anterior pituitary gland, we have FSH, LH, follicle stimulating hormone, adenocorticotropic hormone, luteinizing hormone, thyrotropin stimulating hormone, prolactin, and growth hormone. So, merong specific na signaling hormone, no? Itong hypothalamus, we have the GnRH, uh, CRH, TRH, and PRH. No? Kapag releasing hormone, galing siya sa hypothalamus. It will act onto the anterior pituitary gland. No? Itong anterior pituitary gland, again, itong mga hormones na to. And ang mga target nitong organ, follicle stimulating hormone, gonads, adrenocorticotropic hormone, adrenal cortex, uh, thyroid stimulating hormone sa thyroid gland, prolactin, yung mammary gland, and growth hormone, all parts of the body, no? To facilitate growth. So, and while itong posterior pituitary gland na spoon feed ng hypothalamus, kapag merong signal, uh, negative feedback or feedback mechanism, nagpo-produce siya ng hindi siya nagpo-produce. Nire-release lang niya yung ini-store niyang antidiuretic hormone and oxytocin na galing sa hypothalamus, no? So, itong posterior pituitary gland, uh, nagre-release siya via negative or positive feedback mechanism, no? Ito. Meron din pala itong anterior pituitary gland. Nag-release sila via this type of mechanisms. So, ito yung mga high yield na topics with regards to endocrinology, no? So, hopefully, madaming lalabas to, no? Saan napoproduce, saan na re-release, no? Ano yung target, no? Yung mga ganun, no? Okay. So another diagram, no. So sa pituitary gland we have the chromophils and chromophobes, no. Chromophils, they are active cells that secrete hormones, and chromophobes inactive, no. So it's okay also, it's good for you to know the classifications of these hormones, no. So yung acidophils, they produce the somatotropes and then lactotropes, no. Uh, And then sa basophils, we have the corticotropes, gonadotropes, and thyrotropes. So, ano ba yung mga ito? No? Somatotropes, somatotropic hormone, corticotropes, corticotropic hormone, gonadotropes, and rest, no? So, ito, the same, no? So, ano ba yung mga again, mga mechanisms, feedback mechanism, negative feedback mechanism, ay ano yung effect nila sa specific organ, no? So, say for example, yung thyroid releasing hormone, it will yung hypothalamus, let's say for example, yung katawan, na sense ng katawan na walang kunti yung mga thyroid hormone or nagkaroon ng hypothyroidism, ano ba yung mga cases na ganun? Na hindi sakit, no? Biglang bumaba yung thyroid level or thyroid hormone level sa aking katawan dahil sa, let's say for example, dahil sa medication uh, or dahil sa merong problem doon sa, parang acute na problem doon sa thyroid gland, no? And nag-release siya ng via the endocrine system, nag-feedback siya, mababa yung ganito, and na sense ng hypothalamus, no? And then from the hypothalamus, it will send signal na mag uh, mag uh, signal through the mag-release siya ng thyroid releasing hormone na mag-a-act naman doon sa anterior pituitary gland, no. Sa anterior pituitary gland naman magre-release siya ng thyroid stimulating hormone, i-stimulate niya na magpo-produce ng thyroid yung thyroid gland, and then ang thyroid gland ang magpo-produce na siya ng thyroid hormone na T4 um, para sa katawan, no? So, the rest, ganun ang ginagawa, no? And then inhibitory or stimulatory yung effect ng mga to, no? Depending on the need ng body of the animal. Okay? So you can review this every now and then. Lagi niyong balikan ito, no? High yield topic ito. Hopefully madami silang i-question. Hindi lang sa anatomy, hindi lang sa histology. Pwedeng tanungin din sa sa other subjects, no? Okay. So the same, no? So the canine brain, hypothalamus to the pituitary gland, and then from the pituitary gland will act to the thyroid gland, no? And then it will produce thyroid hormones, T3, T4, and also other substances. Okay. So ano yung mga importante dito sa thyroid gland? We have the follicular cells, and we have the colloid, no? And ano ba yung specific nilang action? Yung follicular cells, they secrete thyroxine and T3 triiodothyronine. And then parafollicular cells, they secrete thyrocalcitonin, no? Ano na yung mga function ng mga to? So for normal metabolism, for growth, and calcium regulation, no? So remember this, cells of the thyroid gland and the functions of the cells, no? Okay, so let's proceed with the endocrine system. Sorry, we are in the endocrine system. Let's proceed with the adrenal glands, no? Ang adrenal glands naman near or above the kidney. So adrenal. So meron siyang outer cortex and inner medulla, no? And remember yung previous discussion natin, yung cortex, it is composed of different layers. We have the zona glomerulosa, zona fasciculata, and reticularis. And ano yung mga pinoproduce din nila na substances doon, no? So remember the denominator GFR. GFR, pinaka outermost to innermost part of the adrenal cortex, no? And then ano yung mga pinoproduce nila? MGA, mineralocorticoids, glucocorticoids, androgens. And then sa medulla, yung sa pinaka center would be the catecholamines, no? Examples, epinephrine and norepinephrine, no? Ito lang yung mga pinaka-common na histological features ng adrenal gland. And then we proceed with the eye, no? So we are towards the end na. So the eye, it's pinaka-outermost layer would be the cornea, no? This is the transparent outer layer composed of stratified squamous epithelium and other part is stroma and endothelium. And then we have the lens, retina, and the avian eye. So we will be discussing one by one specifically. No? And then we have the cornea, no? So ang dapat malaman ninyo yung mga layers ng cornea, no? Ano yung pinaka-outermost layer? The pinaka-outermost layer would be the epithelium. So meron siyang basement membrane. Ang basement membrane nito, ang tawag doon is Bowman's layer, no? So first layer, epithelium. So the anterior epithelium, the outermost. And then we have the Bowman's layer. Ito yung pinaka-basement membrane niya. And then yung pinaka-bulk ng layers ng cornea is the stroma. No? It makes 90% of the corneal thickness. And then ang endothelium, the Descemet's membrane, ang pinaka-innermost na attaches doon sa endothelium, yung pinaka-loob na lining, no? So we can see this is cuboidal, simple cuboidal epithelium. Okay? So, itong layer, remember, anterior epithelium, Bowman's layer, stroma, and then the Descendants membrane. No? Itong part na ito. Ito yung usually yung part kung saan nagkakaroon ng ulceration. No? Okay. Next, we have the sclera. It is a four-layer of the sclera from external to internal. No? So we have the episclera, sclera proper, and then we have the lamina, fossa, and then the basement membrane, the endothelium. No? So sa episclera, thin, dense, vascularized layer of connective tissue. It contains fibroblasts, macrophages, and lymphocytes. And then sa sclera proper, it's avascular. Also, the cornea, it's avascular. Walang blood supply. Then we'll have the lamina fosca. Its innermost blend with the subchoroidal and supraciliary laminae of the ovial tract. And it's brownish in color and present ang pigmented cells dito sa part na ito. Okay, so that's the sclera. And then, ito yung mga mahirap na kinakabisado na with regards to sa eyes. Now, we have the retina. This is a thin layer of tissue that is located at the back, sa back ng eye. It is located near the optic nerve na. And the purpose of retina is to receive light, no? That the lens has focused and converted into neural signals and send these signals onto the brain for visual recognition, no? From the outermost part, no, we have the nerve fiber layer, ganglion layer, inner plexiform layer, inner nuclear, outer plexiform. Merong specific parang arrangement dito if you read, makikita mo na inner nuclear and then outer and then biglang outer nuclear and then maging outer outer plexiform and then ang pinaka loob would be the retinal pigment epithelium. I don't know if you have to memorize it, but it based na malaman ninyo ang layers na to kasi ito yung most na tinatanong din usually, no? Ano yung mga, let's say for example, itong ganglion cell layer, after siya ng nerve fiber. Ito yung pinaka-outside, outermost, and then sa innermost. And then nuclear, ano yung mga cells na nasa nuclear, inner nuclear, we have the amacrine bipolar cells. And then outer plexiform. And then saan ang nakikita yung rods and cones, sa roads and cons, we'll tackle this again in eye physiology, kita sa outer nuclear or sa photoreceptor layer. So, importante itong retina. Ito lagi yung ini-emphasize doon sa med school. I don't know when I studied veterinary medicine din nung time ko sa vet school, hindi ko na-encounter ito, no? Promise. I don't know if na-emphasize or na-encounter nyo ito sa vet school. Okay. Next, we go to the ear, no? It is composed of the external ear, middle ear, and then the inner ear, no? So, sa external ear, we have the pinna, or the auricle, we have the ear canal, the ear hairs, follicles, hair follicles, the ceruminous glands. And then we have the middle ear, composed of the ossicles, malleus, incus, stapes, and the eustachian tube. And then sa inner ear contains the cochlea for hearing and the semicircular canal for balance with specialized hair cells as a sensory receptors. No? Okay. So, this is the cochlea, and part of the cochlea, we have the different compartments doon sa cochlea. We have the scala vestibuli, we have the scala tympani, and then we have the scala media. Ang pinaka-importante malaman nito, ano yung mga nakukontain nilang fluid. Yung scala vestibuli is the perilymph, no? And tympani, perilymph. And then sa scala media, sa pinaka uh, gitna would be the endolymph, no? And then yung perilymph, anong usually na ions na nandoon? It's rich in perina, sodium, uh, potent, potent. Endolymph, ang nako-contain nito ay potassium, no? Perilymph, it is composed mostly of sodium, more sodium. Perina. And then yung endolymph ang contains potassium, potent. Yan yung aking mnemonic, no? So yung endolymph, it is produced by stria vascularis, no? And then further yung mga ito parang hindi usually naman hindi mga importante, but ito nandito yung organ of Corti doon sa doon um, sa media is sa skala media na sa gitna. So, remember, scala vestibuli, scala tympani, and scala media. Ano yung mga fluid na nag-contain nila? Perilymph, scala vestibuli, scala tympani, and then scala media is endolymph, no? And then ano yung mga contents ng fluid na yun? Perilymph, sodium, potassium, endolymph, no? Okay. And then we have the semicircular canal. It is responsible for balance, no? Balance for linear acceleration. So ano yung mga uh, uh, part na nasa-sense ito is from the saccule utricle, the otolith organs. The angular acceleration most of the crista ambularis of the semicircular canal. And then hearing sensed by the organ of Corti, no? Within the scala media of the cochlea. Okay. I said na medyo uh, mabilis lang, no? Kunti lang itong last part na nandito, no? So, basically, yun na ang the rest of histology, and I hope meron kayong mga natutunan or na-pick up doon, no? So, for this last morning, medyo mabilis tayo, mabilis tayo natapos. And if you have some questions, we can have now na ito na ngayon yung Doc, so question, ano po yung layer yung tapetum lucidum, no? I will further uh, make a video, special video lecture yon na recorded, no, about sa eye mismo, na of all the parts of the eye, na again idadagdag ko ito doon sa recording, no, i-upload natin. So we'll go back, we'll get back to you, Doc, no, about your question, no, about sa tapetum lucidum, no. Okay, do you have any other questions? So 1 hour. So far, kumusta po ang ating anatomy review? Okay po ba? Masaya. Ay. Okay, sana nga, no, sana nga yung mga natakal natin na ano, kasi sana nga yung mga yon yung mga lalabas. But I will again further study yung table of specifications, and kung ano man yung mga hindi natin natakal doon, I will make announcements. It's either kapag ka naka-record ako ng supplementary review, then I will send it sa announcement sa Canvas. And also, don't worry, for other subjects also, I will be attending the lecture kapag ka live, no? And I will be facilitating everything sa lecture. And kung ano sa tingin ko na kailangan ninyong malaman pa, I will supplement those, no? Sinabi ko na sa mga lecturer. Doon sa next na lecture, si Dr. Frigiliana, today I will be uploading yung mga lecture material na gagamitin niya. And we've talked na she will be doing sa she will he will be doing a lecture, and then mga konting-konting questions, no. Unlike sa dating pinag-reviewan niya sa board prep na he did the question and answer portions only, no. So yes, yung mga other subjects ibabase sa TUS, yung mock exams, and yung gagawin natin mock exams before the board exams. So makikita ninyo na yung mga questions na na-upload, no, sa Canvas, yung mga in-answeran ninyo, these are combinations of different questions, no, with different sources, no, yung mga na-upload, no. But yung ipapa-exam natin sa uh, mock exams before board exam, it will be based doon sa TOS ng mga subjects. And we will spend considerable time, enough time to formulate questions with regards sa mga subjects. Okay. Again, doon sa ating exam sa anatomy, hindi pa siya ah, parang parang nagawa siya. It's either yung exam ninyo tomorrow na mga exam, baka isang subject lang, no? Isang part lang. So, ganun din sa board exam kasi we don't know. Kasi sabi ko nga before, meron ng mga guidelines and sa parang distribution of questions sinasabi nila before, no? Pero meron yung time na specific part or area lang ang pinanggalingan ng question, no? Pero doon sa sabi ko sa mock exam nyo before the board exam, you expect na widespread yung question. Ito kasing next na exam niyo by tomorrow na aking i-upload, ipapublish, it can be from specific system, no? Para hindi kayo magulat. Okay? So, we will do our best na kung sa tingin namin ay meron pa rin kayong dapat malaman. If you have some questions pa na hindi nyo naiintindihan, you can send me a message, no? Like say for example, si Doc nagtanong about uh, sa I, and I will dedicate some lecture about that, and to uh, I will try to upload some resources. Um, I will I will probably also upload yung aming trans, no? Wait lang. Wait lang. I-ano ko lang yung recording niya. Paano mag-stop? Stop recording.